Thank you, Graham, for everything you've done for us. I'm going to take over from here. I'm Celestine and I'm part of the group. We're working to keep Blender Bender's school open. We have reached week 40 now, and this is the last video of today, where we are still working on retopologizing a t-shirt. But before we are getting into that, I would like to show you how my preferences are set up, so you know why stuff happen here which are not part of the default settings. So first off, I have in navigation turned zoom to mouse position on. The default will just zoom to the center of screen. With my zoom to mouse, I can control where I'm zooming, and this feels very intuitive to me, so I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that setting. Another thing is that in key map I have the pie menu on drag turned on. This is Graham's pie menu. The way you are used to it, if you're using the add-on he provided for us, is this one where you hit tab and you get the pie menu. But in Blender 2.9.2, the default function for tab is a very fast toggle between object mode and edit mode, and I really prefer that. That's really awesome. So I don't want to kill that functionality, but I can turn this one on instead, and I will get the pie menu if I hold tab and move my mouse. And since I've used it for so long, I know exactly that the layout of the pie menu. That means I can hold tab, move my mouse, lift tab, and I will go straight to that mode, so I don't have to click anywhere. You can get the pie menu without having any of these turned on if you just click Control tab, and you will get the same pie menu. I also have this set on left mouse button select. This is the default, but just so you know that for the past 10 years I've been working in Blender, or I have been used to selecting by right mouse button. I have also been used to emulating a 3-button mouse, which means that when I was navigating around, it was second nature for me to do it using Alt and Shift. But since I upgraded to Blender 2.9.2, I decided I got to learn this. So now there's no emulating 3-button mouse, there's no selecting on right mouse button, and this is completely new for me. So this t-shirt is pretty much the first object where I am using this setup. So you will probably see me cursing at my navigation or my selecting stuff, especially when I select loops, edge loops. I keep getting in trouble, but I'll get there. I know how to do it. It's not muscle memory for me yet. That was the key mapping system. I have my understep set to 64. The default is 32. Any lower than 64 and I get in trouble constantly. Now for this week we have 2 add-ons that I think are great that we should enable here. The first one is F2. This one. So you type in F2 in search and you just turn it on here, and that's good. The other one is Loop Tool. So loop, and you get it here. This one, turn that on as well. We're going to use both of them. That was it about the preferences. I do think, yeah, I have it on autosave preferences, but just to be sure I click save. I made a little file over here trying to outline what I'm trying to get through today. There might be some of these tips that I won't get to because I just simply don't need them. I have a merge vertices is a shortcut M, but if I don't need to merge any vertices, I won't be doing it. But we have it over here. Perhaps when you're working you might need some of them, so I kept that. I did test grid fill and it didn't work for me, but it might work for you. It's half automated where Blender fills in space, and sometimes it fills it in right and sometimes it doesn't. So that's a bit of a hit or miss thing. Anyway, I have the t-shirt here more or less like what Graham had. I also have my base t-shirt here, and it's cut out from the Avastyle workbench that I have here. I don't need the Avastyle workbench right now, so I'll turn that off again. As you can see, my t-shirt is snapping to the blue one. I call the blue one for base t-shirt and the pink one for Retopology t-shirt, as you can see here. And the pink one has snapped to the blue one because I have Shrinkwrap modifier turned on here with my target base t-shirt. I also have the mirror modifier on with clipping, so it will clip nicely down the middle and on the back as well. Graham also, I think he also had snap on, I don't remember, but I'm going to have snap on. I'm going to choose face, closest, back face culling, project, individual elements, good, and move. But we get in trouble constantly because we can't really see what we're doing here. Even if I go to edit mode, I can sort of see the vertices. They have snapped nicely to the t-shirt as well, but it's hard seeing the mesh here. So we can fix that, and I have it over here in this part. So we go to the viewport display in object properties here, set to in front. Bam, now we can see it, but it's very clear when we go to object mode. We can see all the way through the model, and that's a bit annoying. So we can go to viewport shading, go down here and click back face culling, and it will turn all the faces that turn away from us invisible, so we see this model instead. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work in edit mode, but at least we're not seeing the other vertices through the mesh. If we're up here, we see them, and that's annoying. But so far in my research, I haven't figured out how to turn those off, except, of course, if I get really annoyed, I could box select them and hide them with H, and I wouldn't see them. But that gets annoying when I'm moving around my model, so let's show them again, Alt H. Okay, so we're ready to start making some geometry. Graham reached this point. We need to build up here, build up the back, and build up the sleeve, and also build down here. But let's do this part first. Now, let's see, is there something I forgot? Oh, one very important thing about shrink wrap. We need this one turned on cage. If we don't have this turned on, we will get into some serious trouble that Graham was facing as well. When he was extruding, he got his vertices moving all over the place, and he did still have the mirror snap on, and that just turns this into, I don't know, spaghetti or something, and it's impossible to control undo that part. But if you turn on cage on, then your vertices will snap to your target, which is the paste t-shirt right now. So if you extrude now, they will follow the mesh underneath. It will still get some weirdness here and there, but it's much easier to control. I'm going to do it in another way, but now you know you can do it this way. Undo. So that you can do, but I want to fill all this easily, and that might turn out a little bit difficult. If I want to do something about bridge edge loops, I need to know how many vertices I have here so I can make as many up here. So how do I do that? Here I can just start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. But there's an easier way, not here, over here. In viewport overlays, if you turn on statistics, you have this stretch selected. I think that suits me because I want to continue this curve up around where the sleeve is going to connect. So I have this stretch selected, and I can go out here and see vertices 10. So I have 10 vertices over here, and that's what I need up here as well if I want to bridge anything. So if I go to front view, numpad 3 in this case, because we are working on the avatar workbench, this is front view. So for us right now, 3 is front view. I go up here and I want to continue this about around here and up here somewhere. I don't want to go too high because I need to hint somewhere over here with the collar. Neckline, sorry, neckline. So I want to start somewhere here. Now I can paint vertices if I hold down Control and right click on my mouse. Ha! Or perhaps I can't. I need to deselect that. Now I can. So about level with that, about out here. Control down, right mouse button. There's my vertex. Now if I do it again, I will create another vertex and an edge between it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if we're lucky, it snapped. If it didn't, we can always grab G and move it around a bit until it snaps. That's the mirror modifier. Fixing that for us. Whoops. Okay, so now we can select this part. I didn't want to bring this one, and then we can Shift Alt select. Yes, I'm learning that one. So we have both edges selected. We go to edge select mode by hitting 2. And then we can right mouse button click, and it's already there, bridge edge loops. Bam. And now we pretty much have the front filled in. It's not very pretty though, so let's add a few edge loops. Control R and mouse wheel to get a somewhat even layout compared to what I have down here. Double click will lock them in place. I have a little mirror issue here, so hit 1 to get inverted select, grab that one with G and it will snap nicely. Okay, so here is some fairly nice even topology, not perfect, there's a bit of wonkiness over here, but all in all it's looking okay. If I want to, I can lift this vertex a little bit and it will more or less snap to the edge here. I'll probably do that here as well. And I'll need to bring this up to get a nice flow there. Okay, so we need to fix the color here. So this vertex that I already have selected, I want to connect that up to here. So again, Control, right mouse button, go up here, right mouse button, that will fit with this one and make a quad. And then I can pretty much continue. Actually, I think I will follow this one, can go up here somewhere. So I'll right mouse button click here, and then I will move towards the sleeve now. So I have this one, this one will fit with this one, so I'll have to fix one about here. Control right mouse button click, one here, here, and about there. Okay, we go to edge select, hitting 2. So right mouse button click, I'll click that one, and now we need the first add-on that we activated, F2, because when I have this edge selected, I can put my mouse here and hit F, and it will create a face directly. And every time I hit F, it will create a face this way now. I can just hold F, I think, and it will just fill it out really fast. Another functionality of F2 is that if you go to vertex select that one, hold your mouse over here where you want a face, hit F, and it will give you a quad. So that little hole is filled out. Now I want to continue this 1 or 2 more times. Let's see, to get about halfway over the shoulder here. So if I can navigate this. So I'm not going to do anything right there now, but I'm going to paint a vertex from here. So Control, right mouse button to somewhere around here, and then just continue out here. Did I not just click? I don't know where that extra vertex disappeared to. I bet I will find it at some point, or it's causing mischief. But for now, let's just right mouse button, subdivide. So we have it there now. And then we can do this trick again. Go to edge select mode, hit that one, and then just hold F, and it will fill it out. Go to vertex select, grab that one, F once, and we have that closed. Okay. I want to fix this a little bit so it turns rounder. Thereabout. Should do it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So we go to the back now. It's turning a little bit confusing, this. So I might turn some of it invisible. If I hit one here and then go Control plus, I can select a few vertices here and I can hide them with H. Now they're not in our way when we're looking from this side, at least not as much. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 edges here. We're going to merge that with stuff down here. I think I'll try around this a bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not quite what I wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perhaps we can start here. So if I click that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Control click here, and the same up here, Shift click there, Control click here. That should do it. Now go to edge select mode, hitting 2, right mouse button, bridge edge loops. There you go. This is not nice topology, but if you put in a few edge loops, Control R and mouse scroll wheel, once you click it will snap out, and when you click again it will be locked. That's not the best topology ever, but we'll fix it. Back to vertex select, hitting 1, click there, hold your mouse here, F to get the face, and move that down a little. No F. Just move this, grab with G. That's what I wanted. Okay. It's not particularly pretty right now, but we can fix that later on. Up here we have a bit of a problem, but we can snap this one to the edge. Move this around a little bit to make it prettier. Same with this one. Okay, so we need to fill this space. And I think the easiest is probably doing the F thing again. Like this. So F, 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 F. Let's paint another vertex here. So Control right mouse button up here and there, and We can fill this. This time we just do the normal face fill. And now we can do the F2 face fill, getting a vertex here. And that's okay. I would like to make another edge loop here, so Control R. There, now it's starting to look better, I think. Okay, let's bring this back. So Alt H. So here's our t-shirt so far. Looking fairly good. We need sleeves. We also need to fix this topology, but let's wait with that till we need it in a little while, because let's do the sleeves now. So I'm going to select this edge loop, and because we have some funny quads down here, it's not going to select all the way, but it's okay, we can fix it. Shift, no, Alt Shift, okay, yeah. So we have this now, which is the base of our sleeve, and if we go up here we can see there's 22 vertices here. 22, and I need it in a moment. Because the trick to do this, I think no, this will do. Do I want the female body? No, I don't. This will do. We need to extrude this out, but I have been fighting this for a day and two, because if I just extrude, look what's happened. If I extrude, that looks great here, but it's terrible because it all collapses to the side where my view is, and there's probably a fix for this. I don't know it. I haven't been able to find any yet, but I have found a workaround instead. And it goes as follows. First of all, I need my tools up here because I need my cursor. I need to go in my front view, which is really a side view, but anyway. And I will place my cursor pretty much right under where my sleeve ends up here. So somewhere around there. Now I don't need it anymore, so I go to tweak. I am going to my mirror and turning off clipping for a moment. I'll turn it on again in a few moments, but for now, off with that. And do I need to turn off Shrinkwrap? Yes, let's do that. Tab into object mode and apply the Shrinkwrap. Okay, back to edit mode. Now we have our cursor here. That means when I am adding a new mesh here, it will have its center here. We'll do Shift A, circle. Now we made sure that we had 22 vertices around here, so we're going to change this to 22 as well. And then we're going to scale this circle. And we turned off clipping because else we will get some weirdness here. Now before we do anything, we need to turn this one off as well, because else we will get more weirdness. We rotate to try get it as straight on the sleeve here. Actually, I could bring it out a little bit. GY, like that. And then we need to move it in. We also need to scale it a bit more. Now it's hard to see what's happening now because we have all that back face culling and in front stuff going on, so I'm just going to turn that off now. There. Okay, so we need to move it on X, GX. It's still a little bit too small. GX again. That was a bit too much. Something like that. And perhaps a little bit further down. Okay, so we have 22 vertices here and 22 vertices here. So now we can do the bridge edge loops again. So we go to Edge Select 2, right mouse button, Bridge Edge Loops. And we can add a bit more topology here, so something like that. Now before we go any further, I might as well turn on clipping here on the mirror again. I also want my shrink wrap back. There we go, I want that on top. I also want to do the target right, so it's base t-shirt. And we also want to turn on the snapping again. And we go to versus select. We need to turn this one on and they will snap. And there we go, there's the sleeve. We also need to take this one away over here, that's T. We also need to continue down here at the bottom. Let me try to turn off snapping. Extrude Z or C. That's a bit better, isn't it? We can do it again. Actually, I think I will scale on Y, see if not on Y, no. Scale on C. Just to straighten it a bit. And then we do it again. Extrude on C. And that's okay. One more time. Extrude on C. And one more time. Extrude on C. And actually I can just bring them back down and they will snap to the edge of the base t-shirt. I could put an edge loop more here, or I can just bring this down a bit, double G, and this one as well, double G. Yeah, let's leave it at that. And if I go to this way, I need to make this one snap. For some reason it's not Y snapped. We have the clipping on. It refused to snap right now, but we can fix that later. Yeah, that's about it. Creating the t-shirt, but we did activate another loop tool, and that's because now is the time that we can use it. Oh, that's happening. Anyway, select an edge, go to loop tools and relax. It wasn't that clear on that stretch, but let's try again. Loop tools, relax. Loop tools, relax. You see how it's straightening? Relax. I can do it several times to have it turn smoother. Same here. And I can move around the mesh and attempt to make it a little bit nicer topology with this tool. It's really effective. Here I have a problem. I think the base here I would probably fix manually with double G. Yes. And I can keep going like that. Here I have a real problem, but I think I need to fix that manually as well, because that's a snapping thing. Because topology here is awful. So this is snapping to faces, or is it normal? I forgot. Anyway, there's not much topology here to snap to, so that's why it's jumping around like that. Actually, let's apply this in object mode. Apply. Now we will have a bit easier at doing this. Relax. Relax, and so on and so forth. This is just wasting your time now. Okay, so you've seen the functionality of loop tools, and Graham showed you how to mark seams here as well. Oh, stop it. Go to edge select, find a suitable edge like this, control here. Oh, I already have it set to tag seam. Usually it's just a select thing, but you can go down here and go tag seam, and it will paint it there. And then you need to do it down here as well. I'll either choose this one or this one, and there you go. Now it's ready for unwrapping, but I'm not going to do that now because I don't think we're ready for texturing this yet, because right now this t-shirt looks like it's painted on, and I think we should add some more details and some wrinkles to make it look more natural, and that's for next time. Spend a little time getting the topology nice. I need to work at this here and that little weird gap here and on the back, and we'll have a look at the details when we meet again next week.